Hey, checking sound, and I think it looks all good. Okay, so we are looking at a target for a friend today. So let's get into target number 1981 9487. Let's see what we got here. So I want to get a couple basic colors. And all right. So let's look at 1981 9487. Let's let's do the task first. So the first thing I want to do is locate and identify. I would like to know if I'd like to know if this person, place, thing, or event, or if it's all four. See, because I got kind of like a timeline feel, so it's like happens over time. So whatever this event is happens and then tapers off. I'm not quite sure why. Oh, I think the target was pulled from Reddit. Reddit's got some pretty cool stuff. Man, it's funny because I always want to respond to some of the posts, but I know the posts are just they're just manipulation, trying to get you to react to stupid phrases. But you know, I just want to jump in there and speak my mind. But man, it's not worth it. There's no, it's a rabbit hole I don't even want to go down, and I go down a lot of rabbit holes. So so we have something to do with the military or the police. There's two groups. Um, Two events. So my co-pilot gave me this one, and now I'm wondering if my co-pilot is in trouble. And no, I know that's a random number. It's inspired by something, a unique something. So, so it's unique. So we're gonna write page one, Unique. Unique. Oh, Halo Grounds. Okay, so water, mountain, trees or vegetation, power, animal or other, person, structure. So right now I've got for this unique thing, I've got a timeline. I've got military or the police, I don't know, some sort of force, 2 groups, 2 events. I've got a structure, a person, an animal, power, trees or vegetation, and mountains and water. So no, let's yeah, don't front load me yet. Let me ramble on for a bit. You know, the whole power thing. What if this is radiation? So, AOL, page 2. So my AOLs are CERN, Los Alamos, Hanford, and Roswell. These are all big labs. No trees. Scrub brush. Scrub brush. Trees. So I do not know why my brain is just hooked on this magnetic wave picture. I just got done talking about the Alcubierre warp drive versus the Bussard RAM drive. I have no clue why I'm so hung up on this. Okay. Excuse me. Well, why the military? And why the police? Or why a military and why the police? Why is it 2 events? Is this the slit field experiment? So these are all AOLs. My co-pilot says no. Huh. 1981, 94. Oh, that's okay. Like I said, I'm really hung up on a lab experiment, and I don't know why. Hung up on. I'm hung up on anything that has to do with um, a certain type of experiment. So. Hmm. Right. So it wasn't any of the labs. Oh, okay. Objectively, okay. Here's the deal with this task. I don't know the answer to this. Feedback is going to be difficult, but I have an idea of why you say military. All right, so I keep seeing an event. I keep seeing a resonant feature of power. Um, kind of like a tunneling effect. So see if you can front load me with one aspect of this without giving too much away. And I want to see how much of your front loading actually deals with my preconceived notion of either a science experiment or a factor of the target that is visible to me when I remote view it. So just kind of, you're trying to find out what is hidden. Huh. Yeah, the public doesn't know about a lot of things. Okay, so trying to find out what is hidden. That is the front loading. And this is hidden, the public doesn't know, but the public doesn't know a lot of things. A lot of the stuff I look at after hours, or without broadcasting what I look at, is hidden. But on that note, I mean, so I'm sitting here trying to figure out if trying to find out what is hidden, but won't say by whom or where. Hidden, the public doesn't know. So my deal is I'm looking at drives, I'm looking at magnetic variances, I'm looking at energy signatures, I'm looking at events. My thought that we were looking at a target for a known military lab. Now you want to think you're talking about possibly an unknown lab. um, or something that's under the radar or not revealed. Hmm. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you tell me the target as you see it, and then I'll tell you the target as I see it, because I think I got an idea of where you're going with this. Well, that's what I mean. The military labs that I look like don't run under U.S. flag or Chinese flag or Russian flag. I mean, they're not. They're military. They run with military operations. Those are the labs I look at. They are not U.S. labs. They do not. They do not answer to anybody in the government, and I'm pretty sure they know me. Um, yeah, go ahead and reveal what you're looking at. So that's one of the things I look at all the time is labs or resources or bases, and the military has control of a lot of them. But which military is, that's up for you guys to figure out. Ah, 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 oh my god. Oh, oh. Okay, folks. That's it. I'm shutting it down right now. Right now. We are now dwelling with stuff that is too dangerous. I can't go down this road. My co-pilot, cohort, person who will be sitting with me in Guantanamo has asked me to look at something that is known to be dangerous. I want you to know, folks out there who are watching, this is all his fault. I had nothing to do with this. I'm sorry, but let me tell you the details about your target. Oh, God. Oh, wow. Okay. So, all right, let me run this. Let me run this in a. Let me run this in a way that I can keep this to a minimum without too much trouble. Part of the tasking was asking about the Vatican, which is why I'm getting all those labs and CERNs and all that crap. I mean, the Vatican and science go hand in hand. The problem is the science that they're running there is not CERN, and it's not NOAA, and it's not any of these earth sciences that you and I would be familiar with. The Vatican has its own rules and regulations, which means it's also a military force which has no ties to a particular government. Um, the other part of this aspect, which is a timeline, which I thought that was quite interesting, is why we have a timeline showing two different events. Yes, the Vatican does play with uh, that particular aspect of the universe, um, and they had a couple tools to assist them. In fact, I was part of a project that looked at a couple of the tools that assisted them with the looking at the different aspects of the universe. Um, these are all under the table. I went there knowingly and willingly, and I took a look at a couple things. Um, I do not recommend it. It's cool, so you're gonna go anyways. But For all the people who want to learn remote viewing, I would not suggest making that part of your target or a target repertoire. As far as the multiverse goes, from what I know, not only is there a lot of matching, but there's a lot of not matching. And there's a lot of overlay between the multiverses. And there are people that walk both or three multiverses with one body rather than three separate bodies doing the exact same thing. You have one body in the three verses. So they literally zip in and out. And I kind of wonder if some psychosis is basically based on the fact that some people seem to be a living weak point in a multiverse where you have two dimensions, two very, very similar dimensions, and one person that is literally in between walking the two. And the energy needed to maintain a cohesive, stable resonance in either universe is diminished, which affects the person and his mentality, causing him to waver. So yeah. So, and that's the thing about multiverses. There's a lot of them, and there are things in the multiverse that one particular multiverse doesn't have over the other. In fact, somebody was telling me that there's a possibility that if you took a sandwich from one multiverse to the other and you compared the two, so you have the one sandwich and the other sandwich, there is a high probability that the atomic count won't be the same due to whatever slight variance in the mathematical weight of a particular set of atoms. So everything's the same, but there will be a slight difference in one particular group or two particular groups, or how a waveform interacts with another waveform. There's enough difference that the two sandwiches are not exactly the same. I don't know. I don't know if the Vatican is as bad as it used to be, and I don't know how aggressive they are in dealing with interlopers like me who like to look around things. I do know that what some of the stuff they do work on is beyond terrifying. That's just one aspect of it. Because remember, for every dimension, or for every multiverse that looks like ours, you have a multiverse that is definitely not ours. You have, what was that movie on Netflix, or show on Netflix? Stranger Things, where they had the lab. The lab opened up a porthole into a different multiverse. The difference between a lab doing that and Hollywood showing the lab doing that is the fact that we know it happened on TV. The problem is there's a very good chance that something very similar didn't happen on TV. And there was a lab that actually breached a universe that had things. So, you haven't seen Stranger Things? Oh my god. Okay, folks, I'm a remote viewer. I am imprinting on you as a remote viewer See Stranger Things. See Stranger Things. See Stranger Things. It's not just a good, wholesome movie for man, woman, and child. It's also an interesting concept into the multiverse. Um, the concept of how remote viewers get the job done, and it's also a concept of Stranger Things. Um, no, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it. Yeah. So my co-pilot is always getting me into trouble. So just so you go, just so you guys know, just so you folks know, I will eventually bring my co-pilot out here and blame everything on him because that's what I do. It wasn't my fault, folks. He made me do it. So no, I'm gonna keep this video. I like it. Um, you were trying to look for, let's see, you figured there is something close that is not blocked and not dangerous to view, hence that part of the target. That's actually pretty good reasoning. There's a lot of stuff that you can view that's not dangerous, but so all right. Well, anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up, folks. Yeah, that was really cool. Viewing the Vatican. I do not suggest it. I do not suggest it at all. But if you do, good luck. And remember, let me know what you find. So, for all you remote viewers out there who are going to give this a shot, Mai Tais in Guantanamo. I hear they're delicious. So, I will see you there. All right, you guys have a good night.